Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Flags in a Gym, a podcast dedicated to all things color guard. My name is Eric. I'm your host and resident color guard nerd. And for today's episode, we keep this freight train rolling, and we are on episode 3 of 6 of our Dayton recap series, this time with Scholastic Open. I've got some fun tidbits to share in this one, so sit back, relax, and let's talk some color guard. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello. We're hitting puberty over here.
Uh-huh.
Feeling better today?
A little bit. Yeah. My throat doesn't hurt as bad, which is good. So, yeah. Thank you.
Good, because we got a lot of color guard to talk.
I got my water. I'm ready.
All righty. Well, we are doing Scholastic Open this time. So this is episode 3 of our recapping. We are going to tackle the wonderful class of Scholastic Open, which was very interesting this weekend. I mean, we talked about it earlier where Dayton as a whole was just kind of all over the place, people jumping all over the place, rankings just throw them out the window, crazy scores. And especially in Scholastic Open, the scores were like not like all over the place, but they were just so tight.
Yeah.
I have quite a few notes that we'll go over because it is really interesting. Couple notes before we get started. I have created Spotify playlists for the finalists. So currently up, well, I'll be up by the time you hear this, but I've pulled as much music as I can and created a playlist for each class. So currently Scholastic A, Independent A, Scholastic and Independent Open are up. If I get this out before the world ones go up, I'll try to time those with the release of the episode, but that is done. And then just an interesting tidbit that I got from some people that were performers at Dayton. So it's not specifically related to Scholastic Open, but a few people messaged me about the lighting at UD and how it was off from how it usually is.
Oh.
And apparently there's a spot on side 2 that had a weirdly angled or overly bright light that caused a lot of issues. Like some world members were talking about if you were in that section of the floor, you could not see your equipment.
Huh.
And watching Scholastic Open back, you can see some of it on the floors that are pulled, especially the dark floors. So if you were just to the right of 50 in that front section, like on the dark floors, you see this giant white splotch of light that's nowhere else on the floor.
Yeah. Weird.
And I'll try to get a screenshot and put it in the pictures of the episode post so people can see what I'm talking about. Because I noticed it, I think it was Westlake's floor because they had like a maroon floor or something. Like it just really popped on their floor. I'm like, oh, that's what they're talking about.
Huh. Wow. Yeah. Live, I didn't notice that at all, but I just didn't catch it, but that's interesting to. I wonder if like one of the lights up high got knocked when because they have that like catwalk across the top way up there. I wonder if maybe it got bumped on accident or something and like shifted it just enough, or I don't know. That's interesting.
I don't know, or maybe they were switching out the light bulbs and they put in those headlight light bulbs that everybody has, those those blinding white ones.
Oh, that's awful. Yeah.
Those need to be outlawed. So I don't know how the lighting changes, and I remember just the lighting in San Diego arena. You performed San Diego, right?
Mm-mm.
No, I remember the lighting in that arena was bad. All I remember is tossing my gun in the air and it just disappearing.
Eek. Yeah.
So like I have some like I'm on the video for Apex and all my friends were like, what the hell was that catch? I'm like, I couldn't see my equipment, girl. Like
that's
I threw a
scary.
6 and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, there it is.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Like,
Yeah,
that's frightening. And I couldn't imagine trying to do all the walkovers and crap that they're doing under tosses now. Like
no, thank you.
in regards to scoring, I was mentioning it briefly with Scholastic Open. So scores were crazy tight in prelims and semis. So just some notes. Third place to eighth place after prelims was third place was a 90.9. Eighth place, which was a tie, was 90.1.
Whoa.
So 8 tenths of a point separated third to essentially ninth because you had two groups tied for eighth.
I guess I didn't look at that. That's incredible. My goodness.
And then they had another bubble of scores that was 12th to 18th. That was an 89-1 to an 88-2. So another 9/10 spread between 7 guards and 3 guards tied with an 88.4 in prelims.
Wow. That's really, gosh. I wonder if that's ever happened before.
Yeah, I don't know.
That many ties, at least,
right. And then semis, we saw it again. We had 6th place To eighth was a 91.9 to a 91.3. And then 10th to 15th, because we had a tie for 14th. So those were the last two to get in. That was 90.8 to 90.3. So you had
Wow.
the final six spots within 5/10 of a point of each other.
That is incredible.
And in semis, there were lots of shakeups. Choctaw and Creekview were ranked 10th and 11th after prelims, and they both missed finals.
Who was 16? Who was the first one out?
Our lovely first alternate was Choctaw High School.
Okay.
They missed it by 1/10 of a point.
Oof.
We had three guards miss it by 1/10 of a point. It was Choctaw and Scholastic Open, Pride of Utah and Independent Open, and AMP in Independent World. They all missed finals by 1/10 of a point.
Yeah. Oof.
Scores were tight this
Uh,
year.
yeah, that's wow. Yeah, that's a doozy.
Like that's crushing. That's crushing. If I'm gonna miss finals, let me miss it by like 6 or 7 tenths. Like enough to you can be like, okay, that wasn't.
It's like in some ways it's like it's awesome that it is so close. Like, oh wow, like we were like right there. Like it's like I know I'm as good as that other group, but like you said, yeah, it's also like, ugh, can it be like a good like 2 points? Like just like just make it like let me know that like there wasn't a
A chance in hell,
chance
right?
in hell that I was gonna get in. Yeah.
Yeah, because when it's at 1/10, you're like, oh, if Susie hadn't dropped or Becky, it's always Becky.
Becky in the back.
Becky in the back, girl. I told you to get
Girl.
behind that prop. I told
Oh
you, Will, we shouldn't have
God.
put her on the team, and you insisted. Said no, she'll get better. She'll get better. We put her on the floor,
She's got great hair.
but she
uh,
can't spin.
I'd almost rather be end up being like 17th. That would almost be better.
Yeah,
Like if I'm gonna miss it, then give me 17th.
yeah. So then you're not playing the shoulda, coulda, wouldas.
I know. Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
geez. Wow. But I mean, that just shows how great all these groups were. I mean, it's just incredible. And that's
yeah,
every class. I mean, really, all six classes. So many incredible shows. Even the ones that didn't get out of prelims. There were some great shows in prelims that didn't advance, and like they were fabulous. So it was really, really cool overall.
yeah. And we saw it in Scholastic A too. I mean, all those guards within like 3 points of each other from like top, literally from top to bottom.
I mean, like absolutely insane. Woo. Yeah. Yeah. It's exciting. I love
It
it.
is. Scholastic Open did have a very quick turnaround. I was noticing that.
Oh,
So semis ended about 9:30 at night.
yep.
Once because the last guard went on at 9:19, which was Dobbins Bennett.
Okay.
And then of course, by then they're done 9:29. Scores are done 9:45. The
Mm-hmm.
first guard went on at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're waiting to see if you're on that bubble, was waiting to see if you're even making finals because those scores were so tight.
Yep.
There was no guarantee you were getting in. You had 12 hours to be right back on the floor, and that's getting them sleeped. And are you going to rehearse in the morning beforehand, or are you just going to wing it? Like,
I'd probably just wing it. Be like, you know what? Let's enjoy that hotel breakfast. We are gonna just soak this up. Get yourself fabulous and just shine those sequins and walk in UD Arena. It's fine.
make yourself an extra waffle at the
At that
station,
point, I'm like, listen, guys, we're on the tape. It's all that matters.
right? Yeah, especially if you're like one of the first ones on. Like, we're not fighting for a medal. Who cares?
I mean, you might, but who knows? Whatever. Like anything's possible. But at this point, I'm like, we made it. Have a blast. Like just
I think that's not uncommon. Like on the bottom end of finals, like throughout the classes, it was just like you make it into finals, you hit your goal. Like if you're not in the top five, you're like, we're not getting a medal. Who cares? Go out, have a great time. And I think that's why you see some of the lower end, the runs are maybe not as clean because it's like the pressure's off. You
I
you have
can
that
see that.
release and like,
Yeah.
oh, we made
But
it. Like,
they're almost that much more fun to watch them because they're a little bit more relaxed. They're a little bit more like pressure's off. We made it. We're having the best run of our life, even if it's maybe sloppy, quote unquote, achievement wise, but they're performing with like an extra boost of, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. I can like lean into this, really enjoy it. Maybe I think that like, cause those groups towards the bottom of a lot of these classes, I'm like, they were having the time of their life with these performances, you know, and yeah, so that's I yeah, I'm glad you said that. That's
Yeah, make the tape, just let it go, and channel your inner Elsa and let it go and have fun out there.
Oh my God, can I tell you, spoiler alert, if you are a coworker of mine happening to listen to this, you're probably not. But
Why not?
I don't know. But I am
Come
gonna
on, Susan, in cubicle 3.
Susan's a bitch. No. There is no Susan at my job that I'm aware of. At my old job,
Watch there be one in HR that you don't know about. You're gonna get called into work.
dude. Well, no, I was gonna say, spoiler alert, my Halloween costume is gonna be Olaf, but I'm gonna get this Olaf costume I found online, and I'm gonna bedazzle the heck out of it. At least that's my plan. It's already basically June, so I gotta, get this together. But but I'm gonna get this Olaf costume and rhinestone him out and just be the sparkliest snowman.
I love it. We used to do a family costume for Halloween every year. Like we'd have a family theme. Like
That's
one year we did names, so I was Prince Eric from Little Mermaid. My husband was James the Giant Peach. My son was Felix the Cat.
Aw.
So things like that. But last year was the first year where we didn't do a family one because my kids are getting older now. Like my son is now 9 and
Mhm.
my daughter's now 6, and they want to be what they want to be, and we just could not find a connecting theme.
Sure. Aw.
Oh, but we love
Yeah,
Halloween.
cute. That's very cute.
We love candy. All right, predictions real quick. You, me, and Alicia went 4 for 5. Alex went 3 for 5 on our top 5 predictions.
Oh wow.
Mason threw everybody off.
Oh,
We were all picking. Basically, we all picked Dobbins Bennett over overhead.
you mean for for top five? Oh shoot, I
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Okay.
And then we all went 2 for 3 on the medals. We were a little mixed.
Mm.
We most of us went Oviedo, Brownsburg, Franklin Central in some order. You went Oviedo, Timber Creek, Franklin Central. So if you just gone with Brownsburg, you would have had the
Surprise,
trifecta.
surprise. But I got Timber Creek. I was the only one that picked Timber Creek.
That's right. No hate to Florida because I got somebody message me. Don't. Why do you guys count out the Florida guards? I'm like, we all said
I
Oviedo's
know.
going
I
to run
love the
away with
Florida
it.
guards. I absolutely love those Florida guards. Oh my God. I want to be a Florida guard. My whole personality, I want it to be a Florida guard. They are so great. Yeah.
I want to wear West Broward's uniform everywhere.
I want that tarp, all the shoes. So much fun.
Wiley High School was our fan favorite.
Oh, okay, that I didn't. Okay, cool. Deserving of that. They were so great to watch. I was hoping kind of it might be Brownsburg, but I can see why they would have gotten a boost. That's cool.
Palm Desert Charter Middle School did not make it into finals. They were 26th. I know everybody has a soft spot for them, so they were 26th, tied with Arlington High School. Your
Okay.
the
Yeah,
the Giving Tree, the
the
chainsaws.
tree with the chainsaws. Yes. Oh, I wish I could have seen them at World Championships. That would have been fun. But yeah, that show got me. It just was, I thought I mean, it was a pretty show, but when those chainsaws came out, I died. It's just so fun.
I got to see it a couple times, and I saw it in Bethlehem, and they've really improved throughout the season. When I think I saw them at Corning, or they went to an, it might have been Corning,
It
or
went
they
to
went
a
to an
very
early
early
regional,
one, yeah.
and I was like, ooh, eh, this is going to need some work. And by the time they got to Bethlehem, I'm like, oh, this looks a lot better. This is looking good.
Got it together. Yeah, their costumes are gorgeous.
Very, again, another brown year. Last year was brown, and this year is brown.
Oh my God, so much brown. I love
At
brown. I like brown.
least this year we're getting a lot of brown with sequins.
Very true. That helps.
So we love the sequins. We talked about first alternate, which was Choctaw. That with a 90.2, they missed it by 1/10 of a point.
Uh-huh.
And then I believe that's all I have for general overview. Anything you have for Scholastic Open generally before we get into the color guards?
Generally, I thought it was a great class. Yeah, finals was awesome. I always love Scholastic Open. It's just always, I don't know, I just love it. It's creative, it's fun. They're just kind of doing whatever they want to do, and It's just I just love it. Yeah. So
Yeah, there's been some banger years of Scholastic Open. I think last year was excellent, and
mhm,
then 2006 when Cheshire won and Trumbull was second, and Shenandoah was second, Trumbull was third, and then
mhm.
there was a Texas card that was fourth, and them and Shenandoah used the exact same song. It was the Cyndi Lauper cover of Unchained Melody.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because Shin had that velvet floor. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
gorgeous.
If I get them on the pod, I want to ask them about that because they did that a couple years.
They did it. I'm thinking of 3 years for sure, like oh 06, oh 07, oh 08, I think they did them. But yeah, I'd be curious to know just about that. There was also a group, who was that one from Colorado? Signature from Colorado. They had a velvet floor one year in Independent World.
When
Uh,
they was that when they had the big black backdrops that kind of
and it was like rounded, I think. It was like
yeah
it was beautiful. Yeah. Which they're gone, aren't they? Forgot about that.
yeah
But
makes your drops quiet.
well, okay. I wouldn't have thought about that. Okay. Just
It
soft.
makes your leaps quiet,
Yeah, that's
especially
true.
in the high school gym floors
Yeah, yeah.
where all the kids sound like a herd of buffalo running
Curious
around.
about how they did that, and then lots of questions about that. About how'd you do that? How'd that work? Who's she? What's she doing? What's going on?
Hot glue and desperation. Just
Every day, every single day.
you can solve most of life's problems with hot glue or
Glue
desperation.
and or desperation. Oh, I love that. That's wonderful. All right. Can we should we jump into this?
Let's jump into this. Okay, so just like the other recaps, we're going to talk about their placement in finals, their placement coming into finals, and then their ranking coming into the Dayton weekend. We
Love
have
it.
15 guards to go through. So we're going to start with our 15th place, which was Ronald Reagan High School out of Texas and their show Finding Joy. They were obviously 15th in finals. They were tied for 14th out of semis, and they were 12th in the rankings coming in.
Nice. So kind of right where they expected to be, basically, more or
Yep.
less. Yeah.
And you absolutely, I did too, but you absolutely loved them in outdoor.
Oh, yes. And so I was actually expecting a very different show from them because of the show title for the winter show. I thought they were tying it to the fall show, which was also about joy. And yeah, I think it was anyway. Maybe I'm confusing that. Cut this part out.
Was that Dripping Springs that did that?
No,
Who did Simple Gifts?
Ronald Reagan. Simple gifts, not joy. God bless. See, I completely okay.
We're good. No, we're going to leave this in. This is how our brains work.
Oh, okay. I totally was thinking that they had something about joy. Well, whatever. Ronald Reagan, I have been a fan of theirs for a long time for outdoor. I don't know that I've ever seen their winter guard before, to be quite honest. At least not that it registered anyway. But yeah, this past fall, I was losing my marbles all over Lucas Oil Stadium for this show. And that, I mean, well, yeah, it was just great. So seeing them in finals at WGI, I was very much excited for this. Yeah, they were beautiful.
I wonder how many color guards they have because they had what 80 on the field, and now granted that we said that probably included the dance team as well, so maybe
Well, but
50 kids like color guard kids. So I'm like,
50 or 60 in the quote unquote color guard, and then yeah, still 80-ish on the field altogether as the auxiliary. I think they probably have at least two winter guards, I think, but I don't know. Took me a while to figure out what the tarp was initially. I was kind of like, what is this setup? What are we doing? Oh, it's a roller coaster. And we had like the wooden kind of walkway thing across the front with that little bench, and then you saw I was like, okay, okay.
I took that as like a border fence, like if you were standing outside the ride, so you wouldn't walk into where the tracks are.
Oh, yeah, that too, sure. I didn't really understand what it had to do with the song Smile necessarily, just in terms of those two things together, but I liked it. It was fine. And they were just great performers just in general, just the way they carried themselves and presented themselves was I thought was really lovely and very confident. Had some bobbles with some weapon stuff a little bit scattered throughout, but still
Well,
perform
homegirls were up at 3:30 in the morning to go spin, so
right, no kidding. Uh, so it's fine. But no, but just beautiful, beautiful movers. And I think that's always the one thing with Ronald Reagan, even outside, is that they move so beautifully as a whole group. You can tell they're all trained to move the same way and taught to enjoy that. But then
His brain stopped.
brain
We're good.
total total blank on that. My train said
Yeah.
nope.
I wonder if they train like because the dance team is like quite a part of the auxiliary and outdoor. I wonder if they train together. That could increase
I
like
always kind of assumed they did because I mean, it seems like they did. I don't know. If you're from Reagan, let us know how that works for the fall team. It'd be cool to know some behind the scenes about how you guys function in the fall land.
I'll have to message Tykeem, their director, because he's a
Okay,
Virginia native, so he spun up here, so and then he moved to
cool.
Texas. So he also
On
does Origins Open.
okay, awesome. Okay.
He's got a partner in crime, Kim Brewer. They work together as a team, so they both do Origins. They both do
She's
Runway.
the former Onyx person. Used to be, yeah, through all that. Cool. All right, neat.
I love the roller coaster floor. I thought it was beautiful. I love the pinks
Oh,
and
I loved it
purples and the
too.
oranges, and I love that single balloon at the beginning because they're like finding joy, and I'm like, oh, especially because I have young kids and I see the stupid crap they pick up, and it makes them so happy, and a balloon makes them so happy. So I'm like, oh yeah, finding joy. I like how they use the hills of the roller coaster for staging moments,
Uh-huh.
and that purple and pink flag that matched the coloring of the top edge of the floor at the very end. The flag
You,
line was great.
yeah. So, well, that's a general statement. So many great flag lines. But yeah, Reagan definitely some beautiful moments with the flag line and the flag feature, the big flag feature at the end, I thought was beautifully put together.
Yeah. So congrats, Ronald Reagan.
Love it. Yeah, can't wait to
Wonder if
see.
they're going to Green Nats again.
I don't think so. I think they do every other year.
Boo.
Yeah.
I want to see 150 kids in the color
I think
guard.
they're in San Antonio, so that school district I think kind of
Mm,
schools take turns kind of maybe. I mean, they could. You never know. I guess they could show up if they wanted to, maybe. But
yeah. They'll probably be at the Super Regional, though, in San Antonio.
yes, yeah, I think they usually do that regardless. So yeah,
All
awesome.
right, Dean, let's move on to 14th place. We had River Bluff High School with their show Folded in Hope, and they were our bronze medalist in Scholastic A last year.
Great. Yes.
They came out of semis tied for 14th with Ronald Reagan, and they came into Dayton ranked 27th.
Oh, well, all right.
Yeah, made a nice big jump to make it into finals. And they were the only promoted group from Scholastic A to make open finals this year.
Okay. Well,
Melissa made semis, Pope made semis.
that's
Grain Valley did not come.
right.
And I don't think Clovis North came either. I'd have to check that. I don't remember seeing them.
One of the Clovis schools came, but I don't remember which one it was.
I believe Clovis High School came in Scholastic A
Well, it was Clovis. Okay, yeah, okay. I couldn't remember.
because they have northeast, southwest, upper, over, under, in between,
Yeah,
all
there's
that.
like a of them. Okay, but yeah, 'cause one of them came, but it wasn't right. Okay, gotcha.
And this was the origami show. They were the first guard
Yes.
on in Scholastic Open. And I even messaged you in our group chat
Mhm.
saying, this is the first guard on. This is the standard we're setting for.
This is it. This is it.
I was like, if this is how we're starting Scholastic Open finals, we are eating today. Like, wow.
Yeah. Well, that was beautiful. Just that whole origami concept and how they manipulated the tarp. The costume was gorgeous. That kind of peachy coral pink coloring to everything was really lovely. I'll probably be saying this a lot, but they moved really well. Just as the full ensemble moved really, really, really well.
I will say I was overly impressed with their equipment skills because they were very good in Scholastic A last year. And I feel like equipment wise, I feel like maybe they were a little bit behind their friends in Scholastic A last year, just like comparing them to Pope and Melissa and all that. And they came out this year, and I'm like, oh, y'all been working. Those opening sabers were incredible. It just I was really really impressed with just how they've improved from last year. They bronzed in Scholastic A. I'm acting like they were bad. They were not bad. They were amazing. But just making
No,
that
they
jump to open and just
yeah, it can be kind of what do we do? How do we navigate that? Whatever. But they yeah. No, beautiful, beautiful. And I loved like every single flag they kept pointing out, like this the design and the color. Oh my gosh, just whoever did that for you, keep that person close by forever because they've got a great eye for all of that stuff and just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
yeah, they had like so many shades of pink and stuff that it didn't like, it didn't look like a Pepto Bismol floor. They
No,
the
it
way it
was
was designed, it just so much texture and depth that you could
yeah,
have all those shades on there without it being overwhelming. And then they threw in that orange at the end with the origami cranes printed on it.
it was so pretty. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And I loved the very end too. We ended and they did that lift and the it was yeah,
Yeah,
great
that
job.
ending flag feature was everything. That 45 with the orange flag, they pull out an orange flag, you already have me.
Right.
And then you spin it beautifully.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
congrats to River Bluff. That was a nice surprise. So,
Yeah, very much.
and I believe they are our only like shocker color guard to make finals. Like everybody else was kind of ranked within the top
Oh,
15
as
or
far
so.
as
Like
like someone like moving up kind of
right,
crazily. Okay.
like Scholastic A, we had a guard that was like 52nd make
Right.
finals.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's move on to 13th place. This was Westlake High School with their show A Fool. They
Yes.
were 13th in finals, 13th out of semis, and 8th in the rankings coming in.
Okay.
And they mainly used the song Linger by the Cranberries, and that was
Yep.
kind of layered over some sort of violin, piano, or
Uh,
classical. And they had red ropes that were on poles that kind of spread across the floor in a
hmm
nondescript pattern. I have no idea what they were meant to
It
represent.
to me, it took me a minute, but then once they got going with the thing, I kept looking at this more. It was like a like tying like a red string around your finger to like remember something.
Like with the lyrics, you've got me wrapped around your finger.
Yeah. And so they just so that's what I kept thinking of was like, oh, it's the red string that you would like wrap around your like tie around your finger to like don't make me forget this or kind of or whatever. Have you never heard that
I've
before?
heard that, but why wouldn't you just put a reminder in your phone?
Because I'm from the 1800s and I don't I don't know how to
Do
do
you
that.
tie a yellow ribbon around an old oak tree too?
Yes, exactly. Waiting for my soldier man to come home and find me. Uh ooh,
Ooh,
uh,
mm.
the different podcast. But yeah, but that's how I interpreted what all those red ropey string things were. I was kind of like, okay, we're and lingering, so it's like this lingering memory or this lingering feeling or something like that. That's kind of how I interpreted it. Could be way off, but whatever.
I have in my notes here that this is one of the shows you can really see that bright spot I was talking about with the lighting issue. I'm gonna
Yeah.
see if I can somehow like grab a screenshot of it to put it on
Yeah, I'd be
in the
curious to
post.
yeah too, and just to yeah.
They did kind of have a shaky run, but we talked about that. Maybe they're just like, you know what? We're in finals. We're in 13th.
hmm
YOLO. I know kids don't say that anymore, but I'm a millennial.
No, yeah, I mean there were some I felt like they were very emotive. They were performing really well. Achievement of some of the equipment moments was a little shakier, but I really loved the writing, the musicality and the writing of the choreography that they were given. And I thought that they were really it felt like the performers themselves as individuals liked it. Sometimes you can tell like, oh, they're just kind of just going through the motions with this, whatever.
Right.
I felt like they really were connected to what they were doing individually as an ensemble, little shakier at times, but I really liked just how it was written with that soundtrack and just thought that was really some strong moments, great weapon moments, writing wise, and then the flag at the end was a great splash of that color.
Ugh, that orange with like the streaks in it.
The orangey yellow
I'm
kind
going shopping after all this. I'm going to start messaging people. I'm going to have
of.
this whole
Eric's gonna
collection.
have a giant
I am.
decks of flags to pull out. He's
And I trust me, I've got a list. I want one of Edwardsville's. I want one of Westlake's. I want one of Downingtown West. They didn't make finals, but they had
That was the wagon train
the
show.
WAG. They had the Oregon
I
Trail
wanted
show.
to see that.
Oh my
Yes.
god, that show. I know we're
To make
sidebar, but
semis.
we're. I believe they made semis. Yes.
Sorry, different class, but yeah, I wanted to, okay.
Who cares? We're talking about it. It's my
I know.
podcast.
Well, I know, right?
Talk whatever the hell I want to talk about.
I know I wanted to go on the Oregon Trail again, like I did when I was a girl.
It was that show was great. They had the full on like covered wagon on the floor. Like I don't. I'm like, did these parents build this? Like, I
Yeah, they
mean, this
bought
thing
it for
had to
me.
be 10 feet tall, 8 feet wide, that they actually pulled around the floor. The cover came up and down. I mean, it was just like, wow. And they had this whole pre-show and it's like performing their show, blah, blah, blah. WGI is proud to present. And then as soon as that finishes, flag feature, just whoosh with these like bluish, kind of grayish flags. And then they pulled out these pinky oranges, like for like a sunset.
You had me at pink.
Stunning.
You
And
love orange, I love pink. So,
oh, but yeah, that was a great show. It didn't make finals. But I do believe they made semis. Anyway, back to
well,
these color guards.
anywho,
Westlake. I feel like they kind of always have kind of more of like an abstract kind of take on things. Because last year, remember they had like that. Their floor was the like that purple fabric floor. It was like a printed picture of like folded fabric. And they did the song by Alanis Morissette, the Thank
that
You.
was this school.
That
Okay.
was Westlake. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Gotcha. Well, no
Because even
wonder.
last year we were kind of like, I'm not sure I get it. The kids are great, but I don't, so I think there's one of those guards that just has that kind of vision,
Yeah.
that my brain just
Cool.
ain't getting.
Well,
So
that's all right. That's all right. Yeah. But great performers.
yeah,
Great performers.
absolutely.
And they're, gosh, wait, I just realized that's already, well, River Bluff is from Georgia?
I believe they're South Carolina.
Oh, Carolina. Okay. We're already, that's two of what, five or six Texas guards in this class?
Well, including Westlake, the next three we're talking about are all from Texas because we got
Yeah.
the next one, the one
Yeah.
after that,
Gosh.
and then
And
yep, there's
then like, yeah,
another
the Wiley.
Texas.
Yeah. Yeah. So three, so five Texas guards in this class.
I believe there were six last year,
Wow.
or at least there were six in a row in Scholastic A. There were so many. So many. I
Texas.
believe Texas led it again this year with the most number of finalists with 17. But I
Okay.
believe California led the medal count this year.
Yes. And they have a strong history of snatching medals, so I love the California guards. So
All right.
anywho,
Anyway, congratulations, Westlake. Let's move over to
yes.
another Texas color guard. In 12th place, we had James Bowie High School with their show Still Life.
Yes.
They 12th in finals, 12th at a semis, 10th in the ranking. So kind of right where they were tracking.
Yeah.
And they were using Enjoy the Silence by Eric Whitaker that Emerson High School used last year.
Oh, it's actually Depeche Mode, but
Well,
yes.
they're using the version by Eric Whitaker. Yeah.
Because my brain first one, I was like, oh, this is a Depeche Mode song. Yes, 80s.
Yeah, they're using the Whitaker chorale version of it.
Yes.
And Eric Whitaker likes to take these songs and make chorales out of them. He's the one that did the Goodnight Moon chorale as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did not need to be made. But he did.
It's Eric's favorite show, everybody.
It's not the show, it's the song. I
Or
don't
sorry, Eric, yeah, your stripper song. Yeah. It's fine.
ugh.
But
But this
yes,
was the mannequin show.
this was the mannequins. I loved this so much. It was so weird and so cool and just yeah, and the haunting version of that song. I mean, the song itself is already kind of moody and whatever, but this was like even more of like a haunting version of it that was so just kind of drawn out and ethereal feeling almost kind of and like can't see my hands, but they're moving around.
They're waving up like kind of like a goth girl at a rave, just kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
reaching.
exactly.
I
Uh,
will say because of the original song has that 80s beat behind it, you could very easily miss that it's kind of like a moody kind of song. So the chorale version really, really emphasizes that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Super cool. I loved the mannequins. I loved the set design was kind of neat. I didn't understand understand exactly like the I guess like the story, so to speak, of what are we trying to watch. I didn't quite grasp it, but I didn't really care because I was so just jazzed about the whole look and the interaction they did with the mannequins. There were some cool parts with that where they spun kind of in and around the mannequin prop, and I really loved all the saber stuff. Thought all the saber choreography, and they spun saber a long time in this show too. At least that felt like a long time. But I really enjoyed it. It was just like this is great. Like it was so well written. And that's a tough, I mean, that was a tough piece of music to spin to because it didn't feel like you could find a strong tempo to keep up with, kind of with it. So,
Yeah, it ebbs and flows a lot. And they did have a pre-show where the announcement was warehouse is now closed. Everyone get out. And it was like the one performer puts on like the suit and kind of opens and closes the door like they're checking like a security guard that
okay.
they pop in every few times. So I
Yeah, I
don't know
did.
if like the mannequins are coming to life or
Okay.
because
It's
the
almost
show is
like,
called Still Life.
right. It's almost like the movie Mannequin, where the mannequin, well, in that movie, it's just one, but yeah, but the mannequins come
Who
to life.
was that? Was that who was the
That was Kim Cattrall. And then Mannequin 2 is terrible, but anyway. But okay, so like a store or warehouse type of vibe, and okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Well, then I like it even more now.
I didn't understand the bright yellow
That
cover-ups.
splash, the splash of the yellow,
I wonder
yeah,
if it was just to like maybe they were just like I want a bright color here, because they were in the black and white with the
black
purple
and white with
accent.
purple, and yeah. I mean, the colors I thought I loved. I loved the that contrast of the splash of the yellow against everything, and it was yeah. I don't know. I just liked it. It was solid group. Um,
Yeah. I wrote down I really like the all rifle section towards the end. It wasn't at
yeah,
the very end, but it was towards the end. And
but
I feel like they had
yeah.
one last year too, because they did Hope last year with like the picture frames or something or the
Yeah, they
mirror.
had those huge, like giant picture frame, broken pieces of a picture frame kind of thing. Yeah, they love a strong set design, like big, bold. Yeah, really, really cool to always see what they come out with. So I enjoyed it. Great job.
Yeah. Let's move on to 11th place. We're staying in Texas with Pearland High School with their show House Rules. I believe that was the name of it.
Yep.
They were finished
Oh.
in 11th. They came out of semis in 10th and they were ranked 13th. So again, just kind of right where they were tracking the whole time.
Mhm.
And this was the basically how do you make a techno song? That's basically like the whole voiceover was talking about making a techno song, and then they threw in some "Gonna Make You Sweat" from CNC Music Factory. The Everybody Dance Now.
It was so much fun. I mean, just it was just great. And the bright like neon kind of colored floor and the yeah, just I was like this was just great. I love a good techno vibe. So,
Yeah, I love the show. I did love the floor. My one gripe with the floor was they had two greens that were very similar. And I almost wish they took that other one of those greens and made it like an maybe a neon orange or a yellow. That way you had the blue, the pink, the green, and then the purple, I believe.
yeah.
And then you had because with the two greens, they were kind of close. I mean, this
Yeah.
nit we know we get nitpicky and pick little details out, right? That's kind of what I'm doing.
Almost like lime and neon lime. They're basically the same thing.
Yeah. It's like when you're standing at the Home Depot in the paint chart and you have the two chips that are right next to each other and you're like, which one? And they're like practically the same color.
Uh-huh.
And then you take it home and it's like 15 shades darker.
Right. And you're like, well, crap.
Like I didn't expect it to be this dark.
Yeah.
I loved the ending flag feature where they had the
Yeah.
the matching silk and the matching color of the floor.
Laid out with it was really great. Yeah. Love that. The build into that big feature too was I enjoyed that. Thought that was really fun. And just a great attitude from the performers. Like they were really having a great time. So much energy, great attitude. Love loved all of that. Watching them perform was really fun.
Yeah, and it was 180 from last year from
Yes.
performance style. So
Yes. Yeah. They did that beautiful Little Girl Blue show last year.
yes.
Yeah.
And I put just like last year, the weapons were on point.
Yeah. Very well trained group from a equipment standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. Great job.
Everybody dance now.
Boop, 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 boop.
That's the song I put in the playlist for them because I couldn't find whatever because the underlying was just kind of like a bass beat with a voiceover. And because of the voiceover, Shazam wasn't finding anything. So like, I'll just throw in CNC music. It's
Perfect. It's
gonna make you sweat.
I love it.
Let's move on to 10th place with Hamilton Southeastern High School from Fishers, Indiana, with their show Bloom, A Profound Responsibility. They
Mm,
finished 10th. They were 11th in semis, 7th in the rankings.
okay. Yeah.
And they had giant flower pots on stands for props. And it would happen at Indy. It may have been prelims. I don't know if you were there, but one of their props fell over during setup and they were scrambling to fix it. It was the
Oh,
big one that was on side one.
no.
It's one of those things I remember from when I
Yeah.
was at the regional. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it must have been prelims. I don't remember that happening, but yeah, huge, like towering flower pot prop. Like they were very big.
and I don't know if this is their exact floor or if it's the same image, but this is the same floor Onyx used last year for the Milena show,
Okay.
but turned 180 degrees,
Like flipped around. Yeah.
flipped
Huh.
around. Because I was like, I remember when they pulled that out in Indy, I'm like, this looks like Onyx's floor, which is fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Please buy in. Let's
Works
upcycle,
great.
recycle.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, no,
absolutely. Buy somebody's floor and reuse it. I'm all for it.
yeah, exactly.
But it's just you when you see it, you're like, I'm pretty sure this is it. So I went and found Onyx's video from last year. I'm like, yep,
That's the same. Yeah, that's cool. Great.
yeah. This show kind of grew on me the more I watched it. I saw it in India. I was like, okay. And then I saw it here in Dayton. I was like, oh, okay. And then I was watching in finals. I'm like, yeah, yeah. I like the biggest thing I like about the show is the color palette. I like
Yeah,
the
love that.
muted earthies
So pretty.
and the uniforms, and I love the mix and match that people do with that. Where you pick like we're gonna pick some pinks and some greens, and then just go hog wild on everybody.
Exactly. Yeah, just kind of boop, 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 make all the different looks for the whole group. And they have a big group too. Love
Yeah,
they are.
and I love the flag feature. And once again, talking about mix and match of colors, they went to the band shop catalog and say, "We'll take three of these, three of these, three of these," and just went through all these shades of
Go
pink.
down the list. Yeah,
And
it was really, really pretty.
I love the texture that puts on the floor. You don't need a fancy flag. Just is they were solid color silks.
Hmm.
The only thing that I would just struggle with that is, oh, that pink is too close to that pink, which is the same one. So all right, Susie, switch with Becky. Oh wait, now Becky's got that, and you're trying to stage the flags
Playing
on
the
the
mental
floor
game of like wiggling them all around and making sure it gets to where you really like it. And yeah,
because you don't want the judges think you're trying to do like a fade or like an ombre or something. So you really try to mix them up, and then you're like, oh wait, those two are too close together.
I know. Yeah, but I thought they had again great movement choreography. I loved the movement book and just watching them perform. It really felt like all the performers were really connected to each other just within the program as they did it, and that was kind of added that extra little special spark to it. I thought, which was really really lovely. So yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely understated. And I think kind of the strength of their show was just where, especially as you move into world class, where there's just, you see the top end world guard where there's a lot happening on the floor. This over here, this over, all these vignettes and things weaving. A class, we don't really see that. A class is just kind of like a broad statement generally with some small groups. Open, we kind of expand on that. And I feel like Hamilton did that a lot more than their friends within the class. And I think that's kind of what made them kind of stand out, just kind of embracing that.
Yeah, very mature design to everything. Not that the others weren't, but just a different type of maturity to how they presented themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a nice, nice, understated, pretty show with a beautiful array of flag colors for the flag teacher. So,
And these three, so Pearland and then Hamilton Southeastern, and then our next group, they all were really close. They all had 89 point something 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 in finals. It was very tight for these those three, which is kind of neat. They could have all shuffled
mm,
around, which is like, yeah, makes sense because they were all great and very much in the neighborhood.
what's funny is I looked at the placements. I didn't look at the final score, so I don't
Oh,
know.
really?
I don't know how
Oh,
close everybody is, but it makes sense with
yeah.
that when we talked about it with prelims and semis and how close everything was. So that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because Reagan had an 85.7 in finals, and then it went to up to an 86 something, an 87 something, an 88. and then we've got the 389s, and then kind of back to just kind of steadily climbing up these numbers. But
Well, speaking of their third friend, let's talk about them. In
yes,
ninth place, we had Holly Springs High School with their show In Good Company. They were ninth in finals, ninth coming out of semis, sixth in the rankings coming into the weekend. And this was the Peanuts show. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Charlie Brown, the
Snoopy,
yep,
yeah,
the comic strip is called Peanuts. They didn't do like a George Washington Carver show sponsored by Jif.
please, that's. Oh my God, Tyler Garcia, if you're listening to this, you need to do that show.
I was gonna say first flight next year. you did more.
Please
You did
come
Morton
out with
Salt.
a George Washington Carver peanut butter show, and then bust into RuPaul's peanut butter jelly.
Peanut, 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 peanut. That would be the pre-show song. I don't know if you could
That
pull that in. We're gonna write a whole show about peanut butter and get sponsored by Jif.
would be absolutely spectacular. Anywho, that is not what Holly Springs did. They did.
They
Uh,
did Charlie Brown and
Charlie Brown.
Friends, and they used a live version of "You've Got a Friend" by Lady Gaga, which Spotify is like, no, not happening, girly.
I couldn't find that specific thing. So it must have just been a.
I think it was a one-off performance. I think somebody messaged me. I don't know if it was that one or Origin's open song because Spotify is like, no, not pulling that one either. One was a like a live special performance for PBS. So it's like I think they
Oh,
literally got it like off of TV.
aw, yeah.
So, but I loved her take on it.
Yeah, it was lovely, really lovely. Such this show, this was the second or third show of the weekend that made me cry. It
Mm.
was just beautifully done. So just I don't know, it just felt so good.
I love how they costumed the characters, the performers to look like Peanuts characters.
And it almost looked like they were like coming out of like a colored comic strip, cell, and because the some of the lines and the costuming looked like they were like the black marker line or something like
Yeah.
that, which is really neat. And all the flags that were the drawings, and yeah, it's just
Yeah.
so many sweet, very thoughtful details in this that just really, I don't know. I loved it. I could probably cry about it right now, but
One of the cool little things, I mean, they did a lot of really cool things in the show, but one of the things I loved was the opening body. The dancers had Linus's blanket, the blue piece of material that they
yeah,
walk up to a flagpole that had a strip of Velcro on it, and it became the flag.
yes,
Popped it on real
so
quick,
clever with that. Yeah.
and then they spin and spin and spin, and then for like the last like two 16s, they unpeeled half of the Velcro
Hmm.
and spun it, kind of like the blanket trailing behind them, like just like
See, it was just so sweet, and just I just love that. Yeah. And then the Woodstock flag that comes out, just the one, because there's only one of him, and just the one, that yellow flag, and it just kept kind of weaving its way around the other performers and characters, and
kind
just
of like how Woodstock always would fly in circles
and
and
yes, exactly. Like it just
so much attention to detail of like from the source material coming into this.
yeah.
You had Snoopy's house in the back, you had Schroeder's piano in the front, and then they had just a bench. The only thing I think they felt like they could have added was Lucy's like therapy stand. The doctor is in.
That would have been cute. Yeah.
That would have been cute. And then they had a flag reveal at the end. They had the black and white flag that kind of matched the
Right.
floor.
Which that was where we were, at least in the audience, we were all like, what? That thing came out of nowhere. I mean, it was like pure magic because I, yeah,
They just literally just pulled it right off.
yeah, but like,
They did it
oh,
like that.
it was instantaneous. So freaking slick. Yeah, that was wow. Best flag reveal I think I've ever seen.
And I love the little Charlie Brown dance they did during the flag feature, like when because they were in four lines and the back two did a toss, so the front two were just a little hops from side to side.
Yes. Just
Just
God.
all those little details, they just add up so much for one
and
nostalgia.
and using the song that they chose, I that was part of it too. That song is so sweet and just all of that, coming together.
And
Yeah.
the kids were solid.
Oh, they were fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Um, yeah. Oh my goodness. Just a great, great group. And they were in finals last year, I think, weren't they?
Yes, they snuck into finals last year.
That's right.
Wait, but that was their first year
They
in
had
open. The
all those
words.
words that kept coming out. Yeah, that's right. Great. That was a great show. I love that. Yeah, okay. Well, cool. Great. Good. I'm glad they're back and they're working their way up the ladder here in placement. That's cool.
Yeah, and if I'm correct, I believe the director of Holly Springs is also the director of First Flight
Oh, okay.
because First Flight had a staff change this
Mhm.
year.
Because Tyler Garcia that designed Holly Springs, he designed
Correct.
for Flight
First
2,
Flight as well. Yep.
that clump of people and whatnot.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, neat.
Because I believe the director was already at Holly Springs, and then First Flight had to change of staff, move down to open. I think he
Yeah.
pulled them down to open when he came in. He's like, you know what? Let's start fresh. Oh, back to World you go. Different episode, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, this one I think thematically was probably the best of the bunch. Like,
Mm,
just I mean, hitting all those little details and everything. It's just like you're checking all the boxes. You're doing a Charlie Brown show. I mean, you hit pretty much everything you need to hit. They weren't doing a funny show, so I mean, I wouldn't worry about doing the football trick,
right.
things like that. But I mean, most of the characters were covered. I saw a Lucy Dress, a Peppermint Patty, a Marcy. I
Yeah.
saw Linus.
Which the only one they didn't use, and probably for good reason, was Snoopy. Of course, we didn't see Snoopy, but I don't think that you can. So they probably didn't.
I wonder how they got away with putting Woodstock on the flag.
He's just a yellow bird. I don't know that he's as specific as Snoopy. I don't know. That's a good question. Anyone from Holly Springs that knows, feel free to inform us. How did
Yeah,
you do
I mean,
that?
maybe they just said, "Hey, we want to do this. Can we do it?" And they're probably like, "Sure."
Yeah,
I mean, you never know until you ask, right? A lot of people
that's
with
right. If
copyright stuff.
you don't ask, you never know. Exactly. And I did a Whitney Houston song with a school a few years back, and they said, "Sure, we'd love to have you use it." And that was it. And I was like, "Well, that was easy."
I'd be like, "Great, can you shoot me
I
that in
mean,
an email so that way I can
yeah,
hand this to?"
exactly. Yeah, they wrote us back, and we just saved that and put that in the file, and that was that. So it's like, okay, well, cool.
Yeah, but yeah, loved
Anyway,
it. Cute
love
show.
fun.
Great job. Excellent. Let's move on to eighth place with Amador Valley High School from California. Their show, The Bridge Between. They were eighth in finals, eighth out of semis, and ranked 11th coming into the weekend. So these guards really didn't move a whole lot.
Yeah, they were still kind of they were just like dosey doing around just a little bit, but nothing wild. Yeah.
Yeah. And they were top five in Scholastic A 2 years ago. They got promoted
Okay.
to open. They didn't go to Dayton last year. They probably would have made finals if they did.
They were very good last year. Yeah, really, really great show. And the only California guard in this class. Well, in finals.
Oh, that's interesting.
I just realized that. I was like, oh, they're the only one from California that made it into finals. So, yay.
Well, there were a couple of very good ones that just didn't make the trip this year. Like Vista Marietta didn't
Well,
come.
that's right. Yeah. So, but
And that would have been very interesting if they showed up.
they were great. But Emerald Valley is here, and
They are here and they did they didn't go last year because the director had never done an open show before. I talked to somebody last year in the
oh,
guard
yeah.
and they were like, our director's always been an A-class director. We didn't go to Dayton just because he's like, it's my first year in open. Let's just put a show out, get our feet wet and open. And then they ended up being super successful, winning the regionals out in California.
Oh,
So they're probably like, okay, we'll go next year. And here we are using Rainbow Connection. They have a piano version by Lang Lang, and then they melded that with the version by Voctiv, who I have gone down the Voctiv rabbit hole
oh,
lately.
have you? Okay.
Oh, they have
I need
so
to.
many great covers.
I need to get on that train and give some listens.
Well, we're going to talk about them again here in a few minutes because we have another guard that used
Oh,
them.
that's right. Yeah.
But
Um,
they had that white to blue floor, like the side one was white, side two was blue, and they had that bridge that connected them, and they were in white and yellow costumes.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is the another show that made me cry. I
I know you're a sucker for the Rainbow Connection
am, and
and the
this
Muppets in general.
Oh yes,
We
love
grew up on the Muppets, so anything Muppet related, I think we have a special connection
it.
to.
This one, I the biggest thing that stuck out was how effortless the staging was or felt, and the performers just, I mean, they were just floating through space and time so easily and just beautiful, beautiful sense of presence on the floor and everything. Really, really just lovely to watch them execute this. Great equipment moments too, of course, super strong partnering moments. I think that's right. There was a flag and weapon moment I think that happened that was really kind of striking but beautiful and
It might be the one I'm thinking of because I wrote this down. It was a rifle and body moment on side two. They were in the
oh
blue
yeah, yeah,
section.
that's what it was. Yes, 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 you're right. Yep, that one.
Yes, it was
Yeah,
excellent. Because I made
flag
notes
in my
like this.
mind, but always a flag in my head. But yeah, that was so just I don't know, the timing of that particular event was just like oh, striking and powerful and gorgeous all at the same time.
Gorgeous opening pink flag and the work in that pink flag section.
Heavenly, heavenly. And I loved, absolutely loved that we did not get a rainbow. They did not give us what we expected, and it was perfect.
Yeah, because by that point they were in full on lyrics of,
They were in full on telling us the rainbow connection, and out comes this beautiful yellowish silk.
yeah, like a
Oh,
marigold kind of color. Yeah.
yes, stunning. I mean, the sun just pouring out from behind the back over the bridge. So good.
Where is the sun prop?
Where is the yeah, another one? Yes, yes, we need the sun prop. Oh goodness, so many opportunities for that poor prop. She should have just got UD and just kept showing up in everybody's show,
Right.
just going around.
Yeah,
Oh,
very, very beautiful. They just, yeah, like you said, they just kind of float around the floor and, they don't abuse the bridge, which I love because, when you have a central major prop like that, you know, some people will just abuse it. It's like, okay, give me something different.
yeah, just a effortless use of space and time and the prop and everything was so just lovely, just lovely.
Yeah. So
And
hopefully they'll probably be on in every other cycle, I'm sure, just because
maybe so.
California
Yeah,
and
maybe, yeah.
although with the success, maybe like, you know what, we need to go back next year.
I don't know. I mean, look at Palm Desert Middle School. They're churning it out every year, so why not?
Can't imagine the cost of getting it. I mean, I don't think some of these like Indiana, Ohio groups like truly understand how lucky they have it to just be so close.
Yeah, very spoiled over in this bubble of
Even the
being
Kentucky guards, I mean, they're
Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, even Tennessee, Illinois. I mean, it's very, very easy over here.
like Florida, the New England guards, California, just the trek they have to make. I mean, because
And honestly, even the ones that come out of Washington and Oregon way up there, I still blows my mind that Anisadora kept coming to. I mean, they came to Indy 2 times this season. They came to both regionals.
they weren't at the first one. They went to Kansas City.
Oh, okay. Well,
They went to Kansas City and then they went to the Avon Regional. Yeah,
they were leaving Colorado a lot,
they
and
were traveling. Yeah,
it was incredible. I was like, wow, you guys are really committed to getting these kids out there, and which is great. I mean, it's awesome, but it was just like that's fantastic. Remember back in the olden times when the San Jose Raiders would show up in Florida and or these guards were, I mean, traversing the country to go check out the other units before you got to World Championships. A lot easier back then, but sort of.
yeah, definitely cheaper. Yeah, but this year we also had Georgia, the Buford Regional. I mean, you had Blessed Sac go down, you had
Hey.
Origins go, you had Elevate go.
Mhm.
Somebody else did Malachi go or something? I
Was
don't
it
remember.
was that where Isidoro showed up?
No, no. Anasadora went to Avon and they went to Kansas City. So I saw them in Kansas City and then they were at
Did they go
Avon.
to Nashville too? I thought they went to another one. Well, regardless,
Anyway, groups are traveling.
it's fun.
So
Yay.
hopefully, Amador, let's get back to the point. Amador Valley, we
Sorry.
hope we see you next year.
Yes. Oh gosh. Yes. Great job.
All right, let's move on to seventh place. We had Wiley High School with their show Hell Hath No Fury.
Big splash into finals for this team. My
Absolutely. They were unranked, which we'll talk about in a second. They were seventh in finals. They were seventh out of semis, so they did not move. They were the fan favorite. and they were promoted at the end of the season out of Scholastic A into Scholastic Open. So technically, it was due to the final regional weekend where they had all the power regionals was the 21st to 22nd of March.
Mhm.
The weekend prior, they won Scholastic A. I believe it was the Mansfield Regional. And just because of the timing of the review process, it can take up to 10 days. We had finished the last weekend regionals, and then it was announced or it came out that Wiley got promoted to Scholastic Open.
Mhm.
So they had they had their circuit championships to get one Scholastic Open read and to compete against other Scholastic Open groups. Apparently, they had like 7 or 8 at their circuit championships. So they got a
That's
good
nice. Yeah.
feel of where they were. And obviously, I mean, let's review. They were fine. I mean, they came to date and got
I'm
seventh.
surprised they didn't get promoted before that weekend because watching them in finals, how were they just hanging out in A class? I don't have no idea.
Yeah, I'm curious what it looked like at the first because remember that first regional they popped like an 81 like the second week, and then they didn't get promoted and people were like what? Kind of like when First Flight came out and people were like y'all didn't get promoted.
Exactly. So, boop. Y'all dropping on purpose to keep yourself down, or what are you doing?
I mean, I'm not accusing them of that, but I do know within my local circuit, I there were some directors that would because our circuit has like a bump score that stops like the first week of March.
Yeah.
They would purposely not go out. They would go out the come out week, half
Hmm.
done, and then they would wait until after bump ups were done, and they'd come out with their complete show and 10 point everybody. It's like really, y'all, really?
I mean, I
In our just local circuit where we have the tiers of A class, like we have the single A, double A, triple A, they'd come out in triple A, but they don't want to go to double A. So they game the system to stay in triple A kind of thing.
little, yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
anyway,
but Wiley did not do that.
no, it's not. They, like I said, they blasted their way into finals here and just,
Yeah.
oh, well,
Took this class by storm.
I was like, oh, we're in for a show as soon as you just saw the tarp. And then, you know, they get everything set up and whatnot. It was like, oh my God.
Yeah, and they're making a name for themselves. I mean, they did the Cruella show last year with Total
Right?
Eclipse of the Heart.
Yep.
This year's Medusa. Like, I don't want to. I hate using the term an amp guard, but
Oh.
I feel like they're kind of finding that niche of kind of going the crowd, fun, creative kind of avenue, and
Mhm.
just finding a theme and finding all the fun they can within that theme
Yeah,
rather than maybe taking the super serious approach. Because I mean, let's review. We've seen many a Medusa show,
true. Yep.
and I just love,
Good, bad, and otherwise.
right. We've all seen them, right? And I love their take on it. I do think that because of their promotion, I think at the rules proposals, you might see a rule proposal pop up about a cutoff date for reviews because,
Maybe you have to do it before the last
right,
week or two of the regional season or something like that. Or, yeah.
because the timing for them just sucked. Like I felt so badly for them. They were just like,
I didn't. I was like, ah, good for
I'm
you.
like, I'm happy for you. Like, that's awesome. You're being recognized, but it's like still sucks. You find out a week before Dayton. Guess what?
Yeah, it could be very alarming. And they were like, wait, what do we do? Well, they knew exactly what to do.
Yeah, clearly they were
Oh,
fine.
they were very fine.
They used the song Troy by Sinead O'Connor that Stoneman
Um,
Douglas used in 2006. Do you remember that?
yes.
And then clearly they were ready for open class. I mean, the highlight of the show, lots of great moments, but obviously that giant snake prop thing that comes forward with
Out of that corner and then
that girl's on top with the headpiece and she's
uh,
just like and like reaching and just
yes,
like hamming it up and they had the boy with the sword and the shield.
and he
Co-
he
they
gets
cover him up and rip his clothes off and he's turned to stone.
yep. It was so good.
Did you see what happened when they exited the floor?
They lifted him and put him on like a little rolly cart and just like pushed him out like he stayed frozen.
Yeah, he stayed frozen until he left the arena.
Yeah. There was some other guard that did that a long time ago. Was it Mechanicsburg? There was some guard that did a Frozen y statue show one time, and they had that too. There was one boy character. He didn't move the entire show until the very, very end.
Was it Zydeco when they did the Tin Man?
No, it was a high school guard.
Oh, okay. Because
I'm
he didn't
almost
move
positive.
really move either.
I'm almost positive because it was I don't know. Well, we can dig into that, but anyway, but
Hmm.
it was really cool though. Yeah, they like the parents like came and like lifted him up and popped him onto the cart and just pushed him out of the. It was so good. Yeah, I mean, God, so many killer moments in this show that were just these kids were living for this soundtrack and just Sinead O'Connor would be proud.
Yeah.
Like it
And it
was
was a big song too. Like there's a lot. It's a good color
oh
guard song.
and
Big,
those
good
I mean
color guard
yeah,
song.
those extended big extended notes in the music that just like the phrase length of that is just, goes on and on and on, and then before we finally get the release, it's like, oh my gosh, and they just handled that so well.
And I'm with you. Like y'all tried to pull this in A class, like because you didn't have whole lot of time
Like,
to
oh,
to fluff it up for open, like
kidding.
or to beef it up for open, I should say. Like
It was great. So
yeah,
I'm excited to see what they do next year.
yeah, I'm excited to see. And they have an incredible program. So they were at the Mansfield Regional. We talked about that. I think I messaged you. So they won the Mansfield Regional. Their varsity guard, their JV guard was third and only like 5 points behind the
Oh,
varsity
that's
guard.
right. Yeah. Yeah. That's
Like
awesome.
they were both like top three in Scholastic A at the regional. Like wow,
And they've got a
wow.
great band program for the fall too. Like there's a lot of good things happening at that school. So very exciting.
Snaps for Wiley. All right, sixth place. We had Dobbins Bennett High School with their show The Tale of the Sun and the Moon. And they finished sixth. They came out of semi sixth and they were ranked fifth coming into the weekend. And they used the song To Love You More or Love You More, whatever the actual title is, by Voctive.
And perhaps one of the best costumes all weekend. That costume was blindingly sparkly under those lights. It was stunning.
I can't think of a better costume offhand. Like maybe in
It was
prelims, like University
it,
of Missouri State or whatever, Pride of Missouri,
yes, the World Guard was
they were head to toe sequence as well.
holy crap, and that was gorgeous. This one was like that, like cranked up another notch. It was I don't know. It was on display in the Fred J. Miller booth in the expo tent,
Oh,
and
okay.
so I went up to it. It's a sequin a large sequin mesh on top of a metallic under fabric. So it was just
Lots of shine and sparkle.
stunning. I mean, just absolutely stunning. Looked great on every single performer. They looked sleek and just mm, loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I wrote down the costumes with like six exclamation points on my
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
like,
yeah.
I really enjoyed this one. I'm like I said, I'm really getting into Voctive. Like I'm so into Voctive right now.
Stop trying to make Voctive happen.
I thought the flag line was killer.
Again, yeah, super strong flag line. Technically great and also really well written. So both sides of the coin. The kids did a great job with it, and the staff did a great job writing it. Like it was, yeah. I wrote down the staging of this show I thought was really enjoyable to watch, I guess. They were telling the sun and the moon story, and those two characters didn't really move until the very end. So as as the rest of the performers, almost like they were like the stars in the sky kind of idea, floating around amongst, whirling around the moon, and the sun's way over there. But yeah, the staging was just easy to watch as it just morphed and shifted and whatnot. And then that ending yellow flag
What
was,
was on that flag? I could not figure out. Was it like a digital print of the sun and the moon? I mean, that makes the most sense to me because it had
I
like a
don't
blue
know. I don't
tail.
care. It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. And again, the staging of that moment, the writing of the flag work, and then the execution of those kids. Wow, it was a beautiful moment. In that, just it was one of those like perfect timing of all the things for that to happen and occur, and then boom, it happened in finals. Just really cool. And it pushed its way over towards the sun, and as they released, and then he runs over from the top corner down to the moon. Just really, really lovely.
He wasn't there in Charlotte. I don't know if
Oh,
he was like sick or if he just hadn't been added yet, but
I don't know.
because Homegirl on the Moon just sat there the entire show.
I don't think I actually saw this show at all until Dayton. So
Oh, okay. I loved it. And it's just the beating a horse with this, but the Voctive's music is so good for color guards. Like, they have the big swells and everything, and just I mean, you hear it and you're like, oh yeah, I could put a flag feature here, and you put a
well, and
weapon toss here.
the layers of the voices makes it easy to layer, choreography and stuff. And yeah, I'm gonna have to dive into that.
They have a lot of great songs there. It's a rabbit hole, let me tell you. And yeah, they just missed out on top five, and big comeback for them because last year they were the Gargoyles. I think they were in semis last year. They didn't make finals last year.
They were in semis. Yeah, because they had those masks on that were really cool and probably cumbersome, I guess, but I don't
Yeah, I
know.
couldn't imagine trying to spin in that thing.
No, thank
Um,
you.
let's move on to fifth place.
Yes, top five.
So this one's kind of interesting. So they were fifth in finals. They were fifth coming out of semis. They were 15th coming into the weekend ranking wise. And it's Mason High
Wow.
School with their show Come On, Dream On. Music was a mashup of Dream On by Aerosmith and Piece of My Heart by Janis Joplin, which is where all the come ons came from. And they had a floor that had a blue design in one corner and a teal kind of matching the other. And they were kind of brown hippie costumes. And they had a couch that was couching, as you said, for
Yeah,
Elizabeth.
couch is couching.
And they had
Fringe was fringing.
fringe was fringing. And they had microphone stands, I believe it was in the
Yeah,
back.
yeah, in the back corner. Yeah, the back side two corner. Yep. Yeah, kind of a circle of that.
Yeah, and I found the mix of songs very interesting. Like there were times where I felt it was like this is I don't know if this works, but then there were times like wow, this really works. It was very
Exactly. Yes, it felt like it was almost like fighting each other at times, but then I found myself still liking it because of whatever the staging or choreography was doing with it, and then it would come together in this way. It's like, oh, I really like this. Yeah. No, yeah, the couch was couching. This was so great. The brown fringe. I want these brown fringe pants. They were so good. Oh gosh, they were so much fun. Lots of good texture in this show. And the I don't know. I just really was grooving right along with them. It was just a blast.
the weapons were fire. Like just
Oh my
the
heavens, they were
weapons were weaponing. Like
weapons were weaponing, the
we're gonna
couch
keep
was
this.
couching, the the fringe was fringing. This show had it all going on.
And then big late surge from them in the year. They were pushing towards the end of the year. Like they were. I mean, they
Hmm.
came in ranked 15th. I mean, I think one of the I think of the Avon regional. I want to say, and maybe they were like sixth or seventh. Like they were
Hmm.
I don't want to say they were low on the list, but I mean, when you had like Brownsburg and Franklin Central
Yeah.
that were all there, I mean, they were far ahead of them. And here we are, they're literally right behind them.
Yeah. Yeah. They definitely were doing the heavy lifting to make this show come together, and
The
it
surge was surging. Yep.
sure it sure was.
It was
But
only episode three and we're already cracking.
they really did a great job though. I mean, I think just the energy, the enthusiasm coming from the performers, the freedom with which they were dancing and spinning and just bringing life to all of this, I thought was really fun to watch.
I like the sunflower flags at the end too to kind of reinforce
Oh,
the
weren't those
hippie theme.
great? Yes, that was such a and that splash of that color to against the brown costume, and then the tarp and everything really worked great. Yeah, so many fun moments in this.
Congratulations, Mason. Fourth place, we had Franklin Central High School with their show That's the Way of Time. And they were fourth in finals, third coming out of semis, and they were ranked third coming into the weekend.
Huh?
And this is a guard that I actually got to visit their rehearsal when I went to the Indy Regional. Very very young guard. Most of them are 10th grade or younger. They have a
Oh, good.
couple. Yeah, they have a couple eighth graders. I think even one seventh grader on the floor. Yeah, very very young color guard. So in like 2 years, watch out.
And are they getting promoted to world class?
No,
They will stay in open.
they will
Okay.
stay in open. Yep, open
All right.
class. It's only
Oh,
top three. Yeah,
okay.
maybe a blessing in disguise here, because they miss out on the medal, which, sucks. But maybe it's like, you know what? Give you another year to cook, get
Uh,
those skills up, maybe medal next year. And then when all these kids are seniors, you'll be in world, theoretically. So
oh, love it.
gorgeous floor,
Oh,
lots of layers to it with the
mm,
clock and the tree branching and then the
And
coloring marbled and
it was a yeah, and the coloring of that was so pretty because it was like a there was like that muted minty green into like the lavender orchidy purple and the bluishness and the oh gosh, it was just I'll hang that in my house.
can I get the floor mini
Can
so
I
I
get
can frame it?
can I get the 2x4 painting or mini of that? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I do know that talking to the director, so it was kind of meant to represent the seasons, like with like listening to the song or whatever. So
Yes.
like the
Yeah.
purple is like the spring, the green is the summer, the blue is the winter. I believe that was the interpretation of it. And because it shows about the passing of time and changing the world. And I mean, there's a lot of layers to this. But shout out to a lot of the kids I know, like Faye, Dasani, the dancing twins, and their dad who listens to the podcast. His dad is a huge fan of the podcast. His name's Matt. Hey, Matt. And but they took that time and clock element and just laid it throughout the show in so many ways. Like there's a section where they do like this like silk wraparound thing, and it kind of goes around the floor in like a
Yes, that was really I loved that moment. That was really cool.
fashion. And yeah, I mean, the kids were very strong. When I showed up to rehearsal and they were like, "Oh yeah," he was like, "Oh yeah, most of them are." He's like, "I have like four seniors, three juniors, and the rest are 10." I'm like, "Really?"
That's incredible.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah. No, beautiful show though. I felt like the their energy in finals was maybe just a skosh down from what I remember seeing them prior to that performance, just in terms of how it felt. But I mean, beautiful, beautiful performance. Yeah, love how it was staged and the effects, that flag moment you talked about, and just use and the use of the prop because they had kind of like a almost like a giant sundial motif happening down in the side two lower corner, and then the big I'm gonna just call it a pole, but the big pole prop that changed because it went from like silver to like copper, and then we saw that kind of bluish teal tree motif.
Yeah,
Um,
because that was supposed to mirror like the tree branch that was printed on the floor.
yeah,
Yeah, it was a clock hand. It had like a point on the end of it that might have been hard to see, but the big bar was like a clock.
I could not think of that word. Clock hand. Oh my gosh. I was like, the pointy thing. Yeah, watching them interact with those props too, and how those changed as we kind of I guess went through the seasons basically. It was really really fascinating and I loved it. It was like a movie almost.
Yeah.
Watching like a foreign film. I don't know. I loved it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
one of those French foreign films. You're like, this is interesting. I'm
I don't.
fascinated.
I'm not gonna turn the subtitles on because I'm just gonna watch it, let it happen. But yeah, beautiful job though. I mean, it's exciting for their future to see what's gonna happen as they go through the next few years and things. But beautiful show, and they had a great season. Just
Yeah,
long,
great season.
one of their best in a long time. So really exciting for them.
Yep, guard back on the move, and they had some really cool equipment things in there, some
Hmm.
cool exchanges, and yeah, lots and lots of great moments. So shout out to all the Franklin Central kids. Hey, girl, hey to everybody. Let's move on to top three. So these following color guards are all moving on to world class because open class top three move up, and there's no additional rules. So it doesn't matter how many years you are in finals. If you're not top three, you get to stay there. Third place, we had Brownsburg High School with their show Stitched with Love. They were third in finals, fourth coming out of semis, ranked second coming into the weekend. And we talked about this in our predictions episode. We were so excited about this one. We love this one. River Deep Mountain High, Celine Dion. I did get a lot of fun little notes from the staff or
Okay.
from people associated with the guard. I want to say from the staff. That sounds like I was talking to the director. I was not. The giant horse's name was Pokey, the rocking horse.
He was my favorite prop of the weekend. The giant pony in the back. I know he's not a pony, but he's a pony, and my favorite prop. So good. He was huge.
And it actually rocked. Did you notice that? They got on it and they rocked
Yes,
it.
that's right. It did have, yeah, it did actually function. But any idea how big it was? Was it like 15 foot?
Oh, they didn't tell me the size.
I mean,
But I
that's
mean,
enormous.
15 feet's not,
It
I don't think that's an exaggeration. That could be close.
was
But they named it Pokey, like from Gumby. All the little rag dolls that each character had, that each performer had in the beginning, they
huh?
were handmade by one of the guard members' grandmother. and each one was made to look like that member.
Stop it.
And then they let the girls, so I guess they gave them like a base doll. Well, there was a
Yeah.
boy too. So they gave the performers a base doll and said, do what you want with it. You can cut the hair, you can put glasses on it, you can paint the nails, whatever. So they each had their own, they had themselves in a rag doll.
Isn't that so sweet? And so that whole opening moment then when they all come out of the toy chest and are dancing with the doll, that gives it a whole nother layer of just like sweetness and meaning. I love that.
And then the closer flags that had all the hand drawings on them, they were all drawn by the performers with crayons. And they drew the images to coordinate with parts of the bridge of the song, like mountains, Tina Turner, pets, river, mountain. They just kind of drew whatever, and those are the ending flags.
That is so sweet. What incredible thoughtfulness. That's just so cool.
Yeah.
Love that. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, because I reached out, I was like, "Hey, if you guys have any interesting tidbits you'd love to share, let me know."
Yeah,
And a couple people from Brownsburg were like, "Hey, here's some things that you might." And I was like, "Yeah,
that's really, really awesome.
but we can talk about the show." So they used "When She Loved Me" or "When Somebody Loves You." I always get the name wrong. "When Somebody Loves You" by Sarah McLachlan from Toy Story.
Mm.
Briefly, then
Yep.
we get Celine, "River Deep, Mountain High." They go back at the end to "When Somebody Loves You" and finish out the show that way with a tag ending.
Yeah.
So much fun, so much energy. Just the whole setup, the toy box, the blocks that spell out "I love you" when they turn them around.
So that was, yeah. I mean, just it was just great. Just a super, super great show. It was fun when they started and the song it's so sweet and kind of tender and you're like, oh, okay, this is gonna be a pretty toy room show. Oh, love it, love it, love it. Boom.
Boom.
And that rifle catch on the downbeat of the Celine song, and then off we go. I was like, ah, oh my God, the crowd just erupted. That was such a really well timed and just such a fun surprise. And then yeah, and the way that the performers spilled out of the toy chest in the corner, and we kind of kept engaging with that as they pushed it off to clear the space of the playroom, so to speak, and take over. And just God, this guard had so much personality. Oh my heavens! I mean, they were performing like,
I mean, it's a big song. You got to match the song, and they
and
did.
they matched every last bit of it plus some. I think. I mean, just just so great. And again, a great flag book. Oh my
Oh, flag
that
line. Oh,
flag line was killing it. Just spectacular. Yeah, I mean, a hurricane could have blown through that, and I think those kids would have just been spinning their way through it and just, wow, they were great.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I got to give a shout out to there was a girl in green on one of the blocks that had like an epic save of her toss. She threw it was near the end of the show when all the rifles throw a toss on that block, and
Uh-huh.
hers just went a little too far to the left. And because she's on that block, she has nowhere to go. She reached out there and snatched that thing out,
Oh,
out of the air and brought it
that's
back in.
amazing.
Because I saw her
I
toss and I
love
was like,
that.
oh, because when you see that toss, you see that gun go. You're like, oh. She reached out and snatched that thing without getting off the block. I was like,
Like,
yes.
yeah, that's awesome. That is really, really fun.
Yeah, so much fun. And yeah, I appreciate all the fun little details. And matching a big song like that is tough. I mean, I don't think people give color guards credit because, the sport has generally, we don't do these high energy shows,
It's
and
hard.
just,
It's a hard type of song to do to keep going for, you know, 3, 4, 5 minutes. I mean, it's a big task to maintain that. So
yeah, especially with the overly animated, almost like aerobicsy kind of like performance they were giving.
full body experience was just, I mean, you've got to put every last bit of yourself into that. Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck in world, my dears.
And Indiana's got another world guard.
Another.
This makes 7 or 8 now, I think.
And what's funny, the next two groups we're adding to a pile as well. So
Uh-huh. Oh, I
let's
love it. I love it.
let's move on to second place. We had Timber Creek High School with their show Joe. They were second in finals, second coming out of semis, ranked fourth coming into the weekend. And they were doing the version of Cotton Eye Joe covered by the Sweeplings.
This was a delightful plot twist, I think, of in terms of just the song choice, and then like, what are we watching? Oh my gosh. Yeah, the song itself, what a great find. And just yeah, that treatment of it, just really leaning into the storytelling. I don't think I have ever noticed that that song had lyrics or was giving you anything other than some,
Man, been forgotten now,
I
Joe.
mean, yeah, garbly, whatever. Oh my gosh, it was really cool to just listen and be like, oh, this story is kind of dark and whatever. They did a great job. I loved all the purple, that beautiful purple color.
Especially at the end, that ending flag that like matched like the purple hue within the floor,
Just
like
that
that indigo
incredible.
color.
Yeah. Oh, that was really striking in its own way. I mean, it was dark and saturated, but still so striking.
And that ending flag feature, like it's the way it was written and performed, just
What a 10 out of 10.
yeah.
Holy cow. Yeah.
They put the period on the end of that sentence.
Boop. Yeah, they sure did. I don't know. I was just captivated. I was just leaning in and just watching them tell the story. And the way this again, great staging. The way the staging helped to move the characters around, and we saw the Joe character. It seemed like there was that one male performer who was kind of that quote unquote Joe, or
Yeah.
as far as bringing him out of the drill every now and then to kind of help move things along. It could have been maybe could have felt a little clunky, but it never did, you know
Yeah.
and because it was like it was a very tall performer compared to the others too, so you kind of saw it coming almost, but it didn't ruin it. You know what I mean? Like just in terms of just the flow of that and stuff. It was neat to watch it just develop, and yeah, I really just a great show. I don't know. I really was just like, wow, I can't believe we just saw that. That was really cool.
Yeah. I remember the first time I saw it and I was like, wait, what is this song? Like, wait, am I hearing this right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And the weapons. I mean, I talked about it in the Stewart
Oh,
Regional, just I mean, those Florida Sabers and
Florida Sabres, I know.
they're
And
just so good. And their rifles. I mean, they just
I mean, yeah, rifles
there's
too.
a reason they were second place. I mean, they're just
Yes.
excellent.
Yes.
And I don't mean that as they were not first. I mean, there's a reason they're at the top. Like,
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. I mean, they stayed the course and just, I mean, they showed off everything that they came to show off in a great way.
and they were like eighth last year, right? Or seventh?
I think so. Yeah, yeah, because
They
they
had
had
that floor.
the multi-stripe. Yeah, that was I loved it, but it was also like, ooh, that's a lot to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they've been kind of doing that. They've been doing their thing for a long time in this class and just steadily just churning out great shows. And boom, here we are. Yeah,
Here we are,
love
moving
it.
up the world. So good luck, Timber Creek. Let's move on to first place, which was really no surprise to anybody.
Yeah.
First across the board, finished out of semis, ranked. It's Oviedo High School with their show If You'll Be, is what I got out of the title. I believe that's correct.
I think that's right. That sounds right.
And I do have a small correction to make from our predictions episode. So I had mentioned that Michael James, who is their director, had worked with Lake Mary, and that is incorrect.
Oh,
It was actually Vincent Thomas.
oh,
And I am constantly getting those two mixed up because they taught me both within the same
oh,
time
okay.
period of my life. And they
Oh.
both have the double first name, Michael James, Vincent Thomas. So I'm constantly getting those two mixed up. So Vincent Thomas was on staff with Lake Mary, and that's where when you're meeting the staff and like, oh yeah, I work with this group and I work with this group, and I just associated them with each other. It got mixed up in my head. So,
Jumbled up. Yeah, that's okay.
but yeah, a lady who worked with Lake Mary for a long time, she's like, just so you know, she's like, I love you. She was very, very, very nice about it. But I was like, and when I figured out it was Vincent Thomas, like that's why I mix those two up all the time.
Yeah.
So, but they had the beautiful, like it was a white floor, and then the back corner they had like gray and yellow leaves and flowers with a black tree.
Oh, it was. See, okay, so in person, I think it was actually more of a bluish.
Oh, was it? I mean, on camera, red is black, but I trust
Yeah,
in person more.
it looked a little bit more like darker teal bluish kind of color because
Oh wow,
it matched the costume. Uh,
that's interesting because it was straight up black on the flow camera.
Interesting. I mean, again, and my eyes could have been just wanting to see a certain color than it was, but I think it was a little bit brighter than black. But yeah, that was over in the back, kind of side one, and then
And then
we
they had the rectangle props on side two that were laying down at first, and then they
and then
stand
they
them
lift
up.
up, and we see some stuff, and then we see some more stuff, and then we get the words, and we diddle-doo. Yeah.
And when they started revealing the words on the props, they matched the lyrics that were being spoken at the time.
Very smart.
Yeah, and just some other things I noticed that the rifles were taped around like the top of the gun, kind of
Yeah,
similar to
they
how
had like a
Tarpon did it,
stripe across the top, which is kind of interesting.
and very, 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 very clean.
I mean, it, well, as Alicia said on our previous episode, our predictions episode, exquisite. I mean, wow, just exquisite performers. Period. That
It
I mean,
was I put down it was an understated program. Like
the
it wasn't.
costuming, the silks, the set design, the staging, the choreography, all of it was exquisitely understated. And what a beautiful message that we got at the end, which we all desperately need.
Be
Uh,
kind.
be kind, and you know, putting that out into the world. I love Michael James is the programs he typically does have carry a little bit of a message to them a lot of times, which is
Yeah.
pretty lovely and very so thoughtful. Nothing crazy, but just so thoughtful and always seem to come at almost the right time, which is lovely. Thinking back to some of the other shows he's done in the past was with different groups that like, oh yeah, that one worked. So this one was just beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and band scores gave me a little extra information
Oh
just
fun.
for some nuggets. Fourth highest Scholastic Open score of all time,
Oh,
and they had a
98.15.
98.15.
Yep.
And then is the first time since 2007 that two guards from the same state went first and second in Scholastic Open. Can you guess who it was in 2007?
2007
First and second were from the same state in Scholastic Open.
in Scholastic Open. Seven. I feel like I should know that really easily. It was, well, wait, 2007?
Mm-hmm.
I thought Carmel won Scholastic Open in 2007. Oh, okay.
So,
Oh, I'm sorry.
so the first and second were from the same state. So second place
Hey,
was
I'm sorry. I was thinking they were, I was like, what? It was Carmel and, oh, it was Warren Central.
yes, good job.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I forgot that they weren't enrolled yet. Yeah, because in 2008, Warren Central shifted gears real hard into Scholastic World and did Appalachian Spring. Or no, Promise of the Living. Excuse me, Promise of the Living, not Appalachian.
Yeah, I had the same reaction when you did. I was like, okay, Carmel won, and then I was like, I couldn't remember who was second.
That was a great show too. I can't believe it. That was
I
a
was
great,
I was like, I don't remember
yeah.
Warren's because I'm so used to them being in World, even though they went to World at the same
Yep,
time.
they made finals and open like 4 or 5 years in a row. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you to Band Scores for
Anyway,
that information.
yeah, that's exciting. Good. Great. I was gonna say Avito has made finals in Scholastic Open. I think like I could be off, but I was thinking it's like been like 16 or 17 years in a row, and they finally got a medal.
I
I
don't
might
know if it's been that long. I think
I may
Alex was
be
mentioned it's like
I may be off in the length of time, but I've it's been a really long time that they've doing their thing, hanging in there, making finals, doing the thing, and boom.
I think it's been since 2018.
Oh, so okay, maybe I'm
But I mean, still,
but it's
that's a
a
lot.
long string of consecutive appearances and boom, here we are.
And they were always like solidly in finals. It wasn't like
Yeah,
they were
yeah, it was
14th where
always
there
yeah,
was
they
like.
were yeah, and always giving great shows, beautiful shows.
So
Um,
now they're moving up to World. So now you have two Florida guards to add to the Florida World pile to join Tarpon and Flanagan and Stoneman and
sounds like
Sunlake and West Broward. And
Harvard. Is there one more down there?
there is, and I missed it. I can't. I said Flanagan, Tarpon, Stoneman,
Sun Lake.
West Broward. That may
No,
be it.
that's it right now. I can't remember. There have been some others that have moved in and out of that class, but well, anyway,
Lyman was World for a while, right?
Lyman was World. Somerset Academy was World for a minute. Park Vista was World, I think.
And then you had Choctahatchee and Tate and all them. Like
Oh, that's
that was a
yeah.
while. That was a long time ago. But
Anyway, Avito, absolutely, hands down, deservedly the gold medal. Beautiful job.
Yep. Congrats to you all.
Congrats.
And that is a wrap on Scholastic Open. We are halfway there.
Woo.
3 of 6 done. We'll be back very, very soon with Independent Open. So until then, we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Alrighty, that's a wrap on this one. Thank you for joining. Stay tuned for the Scholastic World episode. As with the way we recorded these, we've recorded them in batches. And by the time I collected a bunch of feedback from people, I included all of that in the Scholastic World episode. So bunch of housekeeping there at the beginning of that episode. That'll be out shortly. Independent Open will be the next one out. So until then, stay safe, stay fabulous, and remember, at the end of the day, it's just flags in a gym.